and we don't heed the warnings of God? What happens when we don't repent from the first six trumpets, right? If we don't learn from God's partial judgments in our lives, eventually that final trumpet is going to sound, right? That seventh trumpet is going to sound, and all that's left for us is final judgment. But for those who turn to God, in verse 19, I'll read it again because this is actually really cool. It says, "Then God's temple in heaven was opened, and within his temple was seen the ark of his covenant." And so God reminds John's and the Christians that he has not forgotten about that covenant promise from the very beginning. And it's that same promise that allows Christians, like it's a Christian's joy of salvation that gave the Christians at that time the courage to be able to die for their faith. But it's that same promise that gives us the strength to get through trials, right, and to endure persecution. And so I would just encourage us to be a people who listens to God, right? Be a people who listens to God in our lives when God warns us, to actually heed his warnings and listen to those warnings, and to be a people who actually learns from those partial trials, right? When we go through things in life, let's not continue to go through things without eyes that see and just continue to fumble over ourselves and go through life blindly, but to have eyes that see and actually learn from the partial judgments, right? Because it's God showing us mercy, and it's God giving us another chance to repent, right? And lastly, I would just say, let's be a people who spread the gospel through hardships and through trials, no matter the opposition that we get and no matter the persecution that we face, because we can always remember that covenant promise that God reminded the Christians of. We can remember our promise of salvation, and that's what gives us the courage to continue to spread the gospel through those trials.